Every single morning, you might be committing a silent act of engine sabotage. And the worst part is that you probably think you are doing the right thing. You turn the key, you hear that engine crank, and you drive off. But those first few minutes in the freezing cold are exactly when your car is at its most fragile. I am going to walk you through 6 critical missteps that, if you avoid them, can prevent catastrophic damage and save you thousands of dollars in repairs. And stick around, because by the end, I will show you the precise 60-second ritual that can add years to your engine's life. First, we need to understand the battlefield. What is really happening under the hood when the temperature drops near freezing? You need to stop thinking of your engine as a machine of steel and start thinking of it as a hibernating animal. When it is cold, everything inside is stiff, slow, and incredibly vulnerable. Your engine oil is the blood of the car, but in the cold, it turns sluggish and sticky. It struggles to flow through the tiny channels to the critical components. In severe cold, oil can move 10 times slower than it does when the engine is hot. That means for those first few seconds, metal is grinding directly on metal before any lubrication arrives to protect it. Your battery is also weaker, acting like it is running on half its strength. The fuel your engine sprays in does not vaporize properly. Instead of a fine mist that burns easily, it is more like a coarse shower, leading to rough and inefficient combustion. But here is a fact that changes everything. The metal parts inside your engine block actually contract physically. They are literally smaller when they are cold. They only fit together perfectly once they have expanded from the heat of operation. That rough grinding sound you sometimes hear on a cold morning is not normal. It is a cry for help. This vulnerable period, the first 5 minutes, is where fortunes are made or lost in the repair shop. There is another victim here too, and that is your catalytic converter. This part cleans your exhaust fumes, but until it is scorching hot, it cannot do its job. A cold engine dumps extra, unburned fuel onto it, which slowly poisons this expensive part. Replacements for a catalytic converter can cost over $2,000. You might notice your engine revs higher when it is cold. This is not a glitch. That elevated idle, usually around 1500 RPM instead of the normal 800, is a deliberate survival tactic. Your car's computer is forcing more air and fuel through the system to generate heat faster and prevent stalling while everything is still tight and cold. It is your engine's own built-in warm-up routine. Now, with that critical context, let's break down the mistakes, starting with the most tempting and visually dramatic one. Mistake number 1 is stomping on the gas the second you start. You might love the sound of the engine roaring to life, but you are forcing those shrunken, dry parts to slam together violently. If you hear a ticking or tapping noise, that is called piston slap. It is the sound of premature wear being born. The piston skirts are hammering against cylinder walls that were never designed for that kind of cold, dry impact. Every time you rev a cold engine, it is like asking an athlete to sprint at full speed without stretching first. Something is going to snap. The damage might not show up today, but it accumulates with every aggressive cold start until one day your engine simply fails. Mistake number 2 is the marathon idle. Letting your car sit and warm up for 10 minutes or more feels like the right thing to do, but it is actually a modern-day myth for fuel-injected vehicles. Your engine warms up fastest under a gentle load, which means driving it gently. Why is idling bad? Because idling just keeps the engine cold for longer. It washes the cylinders with excess fuel that can, over time, seep past the piston rings and dilute your oil. Idling to warm up a modern car is like trying to get warm by standing still in a freezer. It just does not work efficiently. The right way to do it is simple. Start the car, give it 30 to 60 seconds for the oil to begin circulating. You will actually see the RPM gauge settle down from its initial high crank. Once that happens, drive with extreme gentleness. Keep your revs under 2500 for the first 5 minutes. This gentle driving heats the engine block, the oil, and the coolant evenly and far more efficiently than stationary idling ever could. But the next mistake is the ultimate stealth killer, and you are probably guilty of it every day without a second thought. It creates damage you cannot hear or feel until it is far too late. Mistake number 3 is the perpetual short trip. If you are only driving for 10 or 15 minutes, especially in the winter, your engine may never reach full operating temperature. Here's the hidden chemistry. Combustion creates water vapor. In a hot engine, that water evaporates and exits through the tailpipe. In a cold engine, that water condenses inside your engine, mixing with oil and unburned fuel to create corrosive acids. If you ever look under your oil cap and see a milky yellow sludge, that is moisture. This acidic sludge slowly eats your engine bearings and cylinder walls from the inside out. It is a slow death by 1,000 microscopic cuts. The solution is simple. If you must take short trips, Try to once a week take the car on a longer 20 to 30 minute drive on the highway to fully cook out that accumulated moisture. Mistake number 4 is ignoring your oil's viscosity. Using oil that is too thick for winter is like trying to pump frozen syrup through a tiny straw. Your engine needs fluidity immediately. That W number on your oil bottle, like 5W30, stands for winter. It is the cold weather performance rating. A lower first number means the oil flows better when it is cold. Check your manual for the right winter grade for your climate. This is one of the simplest, yet most overlooked pieces of preventive maintenance you can do. Now, this next one is murder for turbocharged engines, and it is all about what you do after you drive. Setting up the next cold start for failure. If you drive a turbo car, listen closely. Mistake number 5 is killing the engine immediately after hard driving. Your turbo is a glowing, hot, spinning whirlwind cooled solely by oil flow. If you shut the engine off instantly, that oil stops flowing while the turbo is still spinning at over 100,000 RPM. The residual heat literally cooks the oil inside the turbo's core, baking it into a hard carbon crust. On your next cold start, when oil flow is already poor, that crust grinds the precision bearings like sandpaper. I have seen turbos fail prematurely just from this habit. The fix is simple and costs nothing. After a spirited drive or a highway run, idle for just 30 seconds before turning the car off. Let the turbo spin down while cooling oil still flows through it. It is a small pause for massive long-term gain. Mistake number 6 is blasting the heater on max immediately. Your heater is basically a small radiator that steals warmth from the engine coolant. If you crank it immediately, you are siphoning away the very heat your engine is desperately trying to build to reach its efficient temperature zone. For the first few minutes, keep the heater off or on the lowest fan setting. Let the temperature gauge needle climb to at least the first quarter mark before turning up the heat. Your engine will thank you by warming up faster, and your cabin will actually get hotter sooner. So what is the golden step-by-step routine? Let's synthesize everything into your exact cold weather start procedure. For modern fuel-injected cars, just turn the key or push the button. The computer handles the fuel mix, so do not pump the pedal. Wait 30 to 60 seconds. This is just long enough to put on your seatbelt, adjust your mirrors, and maybe select a podcast. Then drive with a feather foot for at least 5 minutes. Imagine there is an egg between your foot and the gas pedal. You want smooth, gradual inputs. For those with older carbureted engines, the process is different. A single, gentle press of the gas pedal before cranking can help set the choke, but no more. For extreme cold, meaning below zero, a block heater is a lifesaver, not a luxury. It keeps the coolant and oil from turning to jelly, saving your battery and starter immense strain. It is cheap insurance, and those remote starters? They are fine to use. But do not let the car idle for more than 2 minutes before you get in and begin driving gently. And here's a critical bonus tip everyone forgets. Your automatic transmission is a separate system that also hates the cold. That transmission fluid is thick when cold. After starting, wait an extra 10 to 15 seconds before shifting from park to drive. Feel for the shift to soften from a harsh clunk to a gentle click. That gentle engagement protects fragile internal seals and clutch packs from harsh, high-pressure engagement that can cause wear and slipping over time. Your final line of defense is a pre-winter checkup that goes beyond a glance. This is what separates a $50 preventative check from a $5,000 repair bill. First, get your battery load tested, not just voltage checked. A weak battery will fail when you need it most, in the deepest cold. Second, have your coolant's freeze point verified with a tester because coolant degrades over time. Third, choose top-tier fuel in winter. Major brands use better detergents and additives to prevent fuel line gelling and moisture issues, which are more common with cheaper gas. For diesel owners, this is doubly important. Always give those glow plugs ample time to warm their chambers before cranking. Listen for the glow plug light or wait a bit longer on frigid mornings. If this guide helps you avoid just one major repair, it has been worth it. Do me a solid, if you found this valuable, smash the like button. It truly helps our channel Gearverse grow. I have got more deep dives like this coming to save you money and headaches. The coldest starts demand the warmest patience. Got a cold weather horror story or a tip of your own? I would love to hear it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and remember to treat those first few minutes right, and your engine will return the favor for years.